Hey guys, so I just wanted to come on here real quick and do kind of a recap of my London trip. Just because I don't have all the vlogs up yet, and also all the vlogs are not going to be on this channel. I have two other ones that are kind of just like my kind of touristy stuff that I did there that are going to be on my other channel. So yeah, I went to London earlier this month to celebrate my birthday and to go to Walker Stalker Con London 2018. The day that I left was a humongous winter storm. Every time I looked out the window, it was just snowing harder and harder the whole day. And I was super nervous because every other flight except mine had gotten canceled that was going to Europe that night. Miraculously, mine didn't get canceled, but it did get delayed 2 hours. So instead of leaving at I think it was I was thinking I was supposed to leave at like 9 or something, 8 or 9, and I actually left closer to 11 o'clock p.m. and it was an overnight flight. I was hoping to get to London early, have the whole day to just be a tourist, but that did not happen. The flight was cool. I actually watched Deadpool, which I've been wanting to see that movie for a while, so I watched Deadpool on the flight over and slept. It was great. So yeah, I got there at around maybe 12 o'clock, and my phone didn't work. My Wi-Fi specifically did not work, and I was freaking out. And thankfully, one of the airport customer service people, they said, "Did you try turning it off and turning it back on?" But imagine that in a British accent. "Did you try turning it off and turning it back on?" And I was like, "No, I didn't. Thank you so much." So I turned it on, turned it off, turned it back on, and it was connecting to the Wi-Fi, and I was perfectly able to get to my destination because I was relying on Wi-Fi solely for this trip. I would have died if I didn't have it. And I got to take my first trip on the underground, which went very smoothly, and I walked the wrong direction going to my hostel, which is expected, despite using Wi-Fi again. But I made it to my hostel. I was like, okay, dropped off my bags. I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna tour, be a tourist, and see some stuff. I'm gonna go to maybe some of the museums today. I had an appointment at the Skyview Atlanta. The Skyview Atlanta, not the Skyview Atlanta. Skyview, I think it's just called the Skyview of London. There is a Skyview in Atlanta that I did go on last year, but yeah, I meant the Skyview in London. So I had an appointment for that. It was completely booked up for the rest of the week. So if I missed it, which I did, I wouldn't have been able to see it any other time. I really wanted to get that overview of London, that skyline picture of London. And it was overcast every other day as well. It was raining. So that was kind of the only chance that I would have gotten it, because the day I landed, it was beautiful. It was nice weather, perfect, clear skies. And of course, I had to miss it, but that's fine. At least I got there and I was happy, because I was super scared that my reservation at the hostel would get canceled, because it was just like, no, if you're not there on time, we're not going to hold your room. We're going to cancel your reservation. And it turns out that hostel was booked up for the whole week as well. Like, there was no availability. So I've been stuck. But that's the trade-off for my flight being delayed. It's fine. Got to my hostel. Everything was cool. My first time staying in a hostel. The only thing that was sucked about being there was like the shower. That was the second thing that sucked. You had to keep pumping the little knob, and it would spray like for 15 seconds, then turn off, pump it again, spray for 15 seconds, turn off. That was annoying. But yeah, I didn't have to fight with any of my roommates about being messy or using the shower or anything like that. Everything was smooth. Second thing that sucked kind of staying in the hospital was there was no heat. We had really thick comforters, which are great, and awesome. But if a leg slipped out, if an arm slipped out, you were on Antarctica. It was freezing in that room. So yeah, but other than that, it was great. It was the safe stay at Holland Park in London. So I totally recommend it. And I have a little bit of footage of that place in my vlog if you want to check that out. So Monday, the first day I was there, which was a Thursday, I went to a pub when I landed. I went to a pub, got some fish and chips because I really wanted to try some authentic, English food. And then after that heavy carb meal, because like the fries were super thick, after that heavy carb meal, I passed out. I was exhausted. I went back to my hotel room and I slept until the hotel. I went back to the hostel and slept until the next day. I was exhausted. And then the next day that I was there, which was a Friday, I did my touristy stuff. So I hit Buckingham Palace. I went to the London Eye. I went to Big Ben and Westminster Hall. I went to Trafalgar Square. St. James Park, and I passed through the Mall. It was great. I hit up so many spots. London Bridge. Yeah, it was amazing. And I'm surprised that I got to go to all those places. Like, I was exhausted. It was pouring, but I was like, this could be my last chance to be in London. So I did it. It was great. And then the last place that I hit up was the Olympia to pick up my pass. Yeah, for Walker Stalker. I talked about the differences between Walker Stalker and Walker Stalker London and Walker Stalker in the States already. So you can check out that video if you want to hear more about that. Then I went back to my hostel, got locked out for about half an hour because of my own stupidity, basically. But I made it back in safely that night. It was around 10 o'clock. Then the next day was Walker Stalker Con. Saturday I did Wolf Carol for Walker Stalker Con, and completely committed. The dirty clothes, the dirt makeup, blood covered hands, the bloody W on my head. Totally made a mess in the bathroom as well. Tried to clean it up as best I could. And it was good. Every other day that I was coming into the hostel. It was I was leaving out like 9-10 o'clock, coming in late afternoon, using a side entrance where I didn't have to come in through the main lobby and the community room. But since Walker Stalker opened at 9, I was leaving super early. So I was leaving like at 8 o'clock in the morning, or even earlier actually. And that entrance, the side entrance, was closed. So I had to go through the community room both days, in costume, and that was it was a nightmare. Honestly, I was so embarrassed because people are just staring at me like, what the hell's going on? But yeah, that happened. Met so many amazing cosplayers that day. They took care of, the whole weekend basically, they took care of me. So I'm super just thankful to them. The next day that Sunday, the last day of con, I did Amy. And I feel like my Walker makeup for Amy, slowly blended into my skin tone, throughout the day. So I just basically looked like I just had on weird contacts and just way too dressed up for the con. That's fine. One person did recognize my cosplay, and I wish I would have gotten a picture with her because she was awesome. She freaked out, and then she called her mom over to look, and it was just such a great experience. And then after the con, I hung out with some cosplayers. We actually went to eat dinner. And that was awesome. Super fun. Shout out to Kissa who got us a discount. a Mother's Day discount. We were all mothers. We were all mothers. Not a mom, but it's okay. After that, I went back to the hostel, saw somebody getting their head shaved in the in the community room, which that kind of behavior is what I had expected at a hostel, like just people being weird. So thank you, weird lady who's getting her head shaved in the middle of the community room for fulfilling my expectations of a hostel. Then I went up to my room, packed, because I knew I had I wanted to leave out of the hostel as early as possible. Stay in London was basically dedicated to doing some last minute touristy stuff, doing some shopping for the fam to bring back some souvenirs, and then making sure that I got afternoon tea. So that was basically the mission for the day. Honestly, I got afternoon tea at Cafe Concerto. I think I saw a couple of those around, so I'm pretty sure that it was overpriced for a chain store. That I did see a couple of different places, but it was cool, an experience. So I was happy that I got to do that finally, because I was trying to do that all week. The whole 4 days that I was there. I went to Poundland. It just not really to get gifts, but if I, found some gifts, that would have been great. But just to kind of see if their dollar stores were different from our dollar stores here in the States. And what I found was that it's pretty much the same stuff. But their home decor is actually better than ours at their pound store. I did find some tea in my shopping around. I didn't like the souvenir stuff. I felt like it was too cheesy, and like I could buy that stuff in the States. So I was looking for something more authentic. Didn't really find much, but I did find some tea, and I brought that home for the fam. And then I made my way to might I say, leisurely. I made my way leisurely to the airport because I thought that my flight was at 5:45. So I'm taking my time. I'm gonna get there an hour early, gonna have plenty of time to check in, plenty of time to look at the shops at the airport to see if I can find any last minute souvenirs. Got there. One of the airport personnel, she's like, you better like basically hightail it because you have less than an hour to get to your flight. I was like, what? She's like, yeah, you have less than an hour. So I was so paranoid that I was going to miss my flight. And I was leaving, I got in at Heathrow, but I was leaving through the one with the G. And the terminals are nowhere near security. I thought I was gonna miss my flight because it was just like, okay, airport, like the terminals, like the sign. I keep seeing signs like your terminal is here, and it's another like 10-minute walk, and it was bad. I got to the airport with I got to my terminal with 20 minutes to spare. That's not a good feeling, guys. It's not a good feeling. But I made it, and the flight back was great. I slept the whole time, and I landed in New York, and it was freezing, and it was another snowstorm. So yeah, that was my time in London. It's great, and I really want to go back. I felt like I stayed in a really touristy kind of area. Yeah, so like around the Kensington area, so it was like a lot of American stuff there, American stores, American food. So I really would love to go back to London and get kind of a more, I don't know, locally vibe. So really looking forward to that. But all in all, had a great time.